Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. True Voodoo, what's going on?
Man, I was literally mesmerized by that music. That like
The
almost put
music,
me in a
yeah.
hypnotic state.
Yeah, yeah. No, that is cool. Again, it's I like seeing the extra effort put in by projects. It's the little things like that, like little videos and stuff like that. That goes a long way.
Yeah, the nostalgia vibes for me. I mean, that just takes me back to literally my first video games as like a 5-year old. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, we got Enri's Fantom Lords in the house today. And this is an exciting one because we did this mint long ago, 3,333 pieces. I think they minted for 20 FTM at the time. I'm looking at an NFT key right now and we got a floor of 62 Phantom. They've been getting swept up recently. And a lot of this is because there is a game coming. And now we have this Ascension, which we're going to learn about today. I'm excited to get into it with these guys.
Well, I'm upset at myself because I was wait. I mean, I picked up some of these, and I also have some of the ghouls, the crypto ghouls, which I freaking love the art on those, and so I'm earning their token because I just staked these when I saw the tweet or Discord like yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, and I was waiting and waiting. I would check NFT key and paint swap like at least once or twice a week to see if the Phantom Lords would ever go on sale really, and they never did. Um, and we were talking to Enri yesterday, and I just complimented him because I it's rare to see a project. And Phantom on trainers were similar, where you have a large supply, and then people just have to wait. They got to wait for the game, and to see the the holders not lose hope, to
Yep.
never, nobody ever really lowering the floor. I don't know if it was ever below mint price. If it was, very briefly and not much. And then even last week or a couple weeks ago, when we started planning this episode, and I got the alpha of what was coming, I was like, well, man, there's still nothing below like 30, 35 Phantom. I'll wait, see if it dips. And then now, 60 Phantom. And we talked about this, I think, last week and even a couple episodes ago when we talked about how to make money in NFTs. And like one of the big keys was when you know that a game or the next gen or something's coming out that's going to give utility to your previous ones, like buy up the floor before the public realizes it. And so I broke like my number one rule, and so I'm paying the consequences. But without any further ado, I mean, we can go ahead and bring the two studs from the project. We've got Enri, and we also have Zenobia, who I believe is the game developer behind
Yeah.
this. And so, welcome, guys.
Nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you. So
Nice to meet
yeah,
you.
it was a good few months, and I basically can't stop developing this project. We have users from the old zoo times coming at us and thanking us because yeah, they thought they were just buying JPEGs. And yeah, but it's addictive, this NFT stuff. You just can't stop. And yeah, right now, as you were saying, we are in what I would say is a mid-release, a middle milestone between the procedural minting that happened a few months ago and the true game release. And it was not easy, and it's honestly something very new. Even would be something bleeding edge for Ethereum, and I hope it's something extremely new for Phantom. We called it an ascension of sorts. Basically, we thought that we could safeguard both our floor and our users if we required burning our original lords and a little bit of our token that we have released on the staking platform to get some upgrade both on the art and on the game stat in the future. It's a pretty involved process, but really not that much compared to other projects. And we're extremely helpful. No, I mean, extremely happy of how it turned out with our users.
I didn't even know you had staking yet. I'm just messing around on your website as we speak here. Website looks great. I'm currently about to stake some Fantom Lords, but I
Nice.
think this is awesome, man. Like, I mean, we with Potluck, we like the idea of deflationary supplies. It adds
Yeah.
this whole game theory aspect to it. So the idea that the Fantom Lords collection is going to kind of come down by community choice, essentially, I think is super awesome.
Yeah, and we have the same basic mechanic on our XRLC token, that is Arcane Relic token. Basically, the if you see the token itself on the Explorer, it's a very simple, basic token, no burn mechanics, no reflection, nothing fancy. But whenever we plan to use it on interaction, on every single aspect of our ecosystem, we plan to burn it. And in the end, it will. I hope it will keep the base floor of the price, for the token extremely high, and that we don't hurt anybody, and it's also got something that is going to keep us motivated on working on the game and releasing new products for the whole year of the. It's planned for a year, the release of this token, and
No, honestly,
yeah,
I think you guys have done everything right. Like, you started, you guys are early days on Zoocoin,
yeah, yeah,
dropping the Phantom Specters, and those are like one of one pieces. Uh, the
good times.
the crypto ghouls, again, these are awesome one of one pieces, and now you've went into the generative collection, which again, we with Potluck, like that's kind of what we're about is the idea of building the brand for these one of one artists. So now you've just built this awesome community. You've brought value, you brought utility and value back to all these original pieces. Um, yeah, I think you guys are doing everything right. Now I'm excited to get into the game aspect of this
All right.
because yeah, Zenobia, are you with Wolf Games?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to. You've been working on a lot. I think you're going to be a very vital piece of this Fantom NFT ecosystem.
Well, I jumped on the project with Henry in, I think, late December, yes. And
Yes.
we started developing the very first prototype in the first month because I was very excited. I was ready to start a bigger project. I wasn't into the world of cryptocurrency at all. But as I jumped in, I got really excited, and as Henry said before, it's really addictive because the community is huge, and all the aspects, the connections, the networking, it grows so fast, and this makes my job very, very exciting, but very good because usually when you make a game, it is not easy to talk with other people about your project. You cannot, you are developing. You maybe work on your computer for a month. You don't see the the light of the day. But with this kind of projects, you are always talking with people, showing them the logs, what you are doing, what can be changed to please the users, because this is very different from developing a video game for the general public. You know that where you just make a game and you hope they like it, but you have a user base that can help you to go in the right direction. Actually,
So I
Yeah, I
want to
think
bring up.
it's something mutually beneficial. My relationship with Dano, I think we struck gold, but when we got together, I'm really looking him at him and seeing him in as a small crypto gaming development studio in some time.
well,
Yeah,
I
no,
hope so
absolutely.
Sorry
too.
for
Zenobia, I want to get both of your thoughts on this question. I'll start with you, Zenobia. The idea of play to earn versus play and earn. It's a big debate that is coming up. Like, you hear a lot of these play to earn games, and a lot of it, it's not much of a game at all. It's very much like a stake, earn a token, and then it's kind of Ponzi-nomics. Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on this whole debate of play to earn versus play and earn?
Well, I can say that my very first impression of the gamification of this kind of crypto products was with play to earn games like the famous X Infinity.
Yeah,
Uh,
Axie, yes, the
that was
Axie.
like not bad at all. I mean, it was quite complex as a game. The platform was huge. The fan base was huge also. But the main problem of the smaller project, because I do not mind about bigger projects that they have a whole team of people working on the games. But yes, smaller projects are most of the time not games at all. I mean, they are more close to the mobile advertising that you may say on Facebook, those small puzzles that are more annoying than anything, actually. And I think that developing a complete game that is
Yeah,
also connected to the projects of Phantom or any other cryptocurrency. This really brings value to the whole community, to the whole project, not just your NFTs and how you use your NFTs, but the whole universe. In this case of Phantom, I
yeah.
think can gain value from a nice game that is based on the chain.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the crypto world can explode, can burn down, and we're on a roller coaster. But I think if we leave a good, fun, playable game that you would have fun, playing as an indie game on Steam, and we publish it, for the Phantom family. Maybe leave it. We can leave it playable with a free to play option, because uh, if we reach a little degree of success, the the our NFTs are only 3,000, and it would be bad to increase the supply. So yeah, I think having a playable game that would be, how could you say, a business card, a good, reference for Phantom, saying, hey, we got this full game and this other full game on our blockchain. I think it could be good for the ecosystem as a whole. In fact, they've just announced the 300 and plus million incentives program,
Yep. Yep.
the upgraded version. We'll see about that, and you know. Even if you could get a very small portion of that incentive, I would be extremely glad, because then we could focus on doing not a very aggressive and degen-like game with gambling
Mm.
and stuff like that. Even though many of my users are asking for that, degens got a degen. And yeah, we're probably planning, to improve also our integration skills. We're planning some small PvP mini games, some betting games. But at the end of the day, having a full game that has not really aggressive tokenomics, but that you can play simply by being on MetaMask and on the Phantom RPC with maybe a minimal Phantom fee, could be extremely good for the foundation. And yeah, we were. I was using that philosophy in the direction of the game. I didn't want to, I wanted to make something fun more than something, for degens. And I think eventually we'll get rewarded if we, because a game that is not so degen is much better anyway for getting those incentives.
Mhm. So, yeah, this is interesting because, yeah, even Miles today tweeted about, that he thinks that the NFT and gaming incentive program is probably the most vital piece right now for the Fantom Foundation in terms of getting users. So I find it really interesting that, yeah, we are seeing these games pop up. It is a great opportunity to get awesome users, having fun on our blockchain. Now, playing some of these games, everybody's got their own thoughts on how much of my game needs to be on chain versus off chain. and you even mentioned like free to play and not. Can you get into this at all? Like in the details in terms of how much of this game is going to be on chain versus not?
We are basically on the. We're not going to push that much for being on chain,
Yeah.
at least for our final product, because even the Fantom blockchain has its own limitations. What we would like to do is to set up, a semi high score system that would track your score level by level. Maybe generate an encryption key and then compare it to a contract on the blockchain. And if those two match, we would then confirm the game as played, and reward the player based on that. I think that is the direction we will take. It's still a bit early to know, but yeah, it's the way I would push towards. I mean,
Yeah.
also the full games played on chain. Maybe more like Pocket Pals, maybe like the Citadels, the Travian style games really make sense. They can be extremely addictive, extremely fun. But I wanted to develop a full game, and that remains my objective.
Yeah, I want to add that developing games, developing video games is a long process. If you are an individual, this can take something like 3 to 4 to 5 years, and in this kind of products, you cannot think in long terms. You have to think fast. You have you have to make a product in under a year. So sometimes you have some obstacles that, of course, you have to deal with about this. So you need to have a nice product ready in less than a year to not lose hype around the project. And this is not always easy to manage. But if you start with this kind of vision, you can really reach nice levels of balance between the play to earn and play and earn mechanics.
So let's get into Zenobia. Like, what are you trying to build in this gaming experience? Like, can you walk us through if I have a Fantom Lord, like what is this game experience going to be like?
Yeah,
Well,
I can
we
actually
do already
share
have
my
a
screen.
game ready, so
Uh, Tell me if you can see it.
No, I can't see anything yet.
I can stream if
Oh, there we
you.
go.
All right, let's check. Ooh. It's
Yeah, because
kind of
it almost
mirrored.
looks like yeah, Plot, are you able to flip that around? Yeah, it's almost like when I was seeing videos on Twitter, it looked like almost not a card game, but like yeah, I don't know, a strategy, very strategy based.
I think the game will require a lot of strategy, a lot of thinking, because I mean, you would play in real time, not really real time, but very quickly moving around the map. But once you encounter the enemy, the combat is going to be brutal, and you're going to wait every single turn to check your moves. Um, Zeno will, if we manage to flip the screen, Zeno will, I think, will enter the game, and yeah, we can show you the preview of all the mechanics are there. You can already he has already imported all of the Fantom Lords. Let me try and stream it, maybe.
Yeah, we're getting real fancy with our tech here.
Then could you remind me the address? I always lose. H, right.
Yeah, I found a video here on Twitter that I shared in the chat. If anybody wants to go check it out. Yeah, because it's very it's a turn-based game, right?
Uh,
Do you see my sharing? Maybe.
okay, so while Henry plays, I think I can talk about the game a bit. I just want to start with the retro sensations that Voodoo said in the beginning, uh, because I am too a retro gamer myself. Because of the experience that you get from these games, I do not want to go deep into the discussion, but there is a talk about how the new games are very good looking, but they lack of actual gaming experience.
Mm.
uh, I think that retro gaming is a nice way to get the old feelings of the deeper games, and you can actually add the new mechanics, of course, that we have now in the new century, because the industry evolved through the years. And of course, developing a retro game isn't much easier than making a 3D game. The effort is almost the same. But we tried to reproduce some kind of older retro GDR fantasy game, like Divinity, some of the old Final Fantasy, the dungeon crawler also, of course. And most of the mechanics are the classic, of the fantasy games of the GDR. You have a level, some kind of level up mechanics with the stones, so you can level up the stats of your lords with the right item. Because if you start with the wrong lord, if you manage to collect the right items, you can boost up the right stats to fight. Because if you have minted, I do not want to say the wrong lord, but maybe a mage with a sword, you need to balance the stats through the game. This is not an
Mm.
easy thing to do, but it's of course important. For example, we actually managed to make some skills, some movements, some different attacks partners for like wizards or swordsmen, warriors, archers, for example. We are making an endless game, so you fight your way through the dungeon until all your lords have died.
Yeah, this looks cool. I've never really played a. I've never really played anything like this.
This is, of course, just a
Yeah, I'm
preview,
just watching
because
Henry. Yeah.
this is a 5 month job, let's say. Most of the main
So
mechanics
is
are
it all
already ready.
is it like a story or is it like a PvP or is it like
It's
a
more
storyline that
like
you're kind
right
of following?
now. Yeah, we are building up the storyline. I think Henry could answer better to your question, because the storyline should have be present also with the ascension.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, and then
Actually,
I
the
guess
game right now is like mostly a
Yeah,
PVA.
I think you can't hear me while I play. Sorry, guys, but yeah, the game is what I would call an old school RPG. We're fully committed to the D&D community and the classic RPGs. Maybe the younger generations will not follow us, but for the kind of crypto users that delve deep into cryptos, I think this game is would be a gem to find. It's PVE, so you're not playing against other people. Although we are considering PvP for our small release game I was talking about earlier. it's an endless dungeon where you have to delve as deep as you can, find out mysteries. We're planning, to maybe you defeat the first boss, and you may get an NFT. We're
Ooh.
planning NFT integrations where, for example, if you stake, I don't know, a human or a bot from the Potluck series, the first boss might change, and it might be harder or easier, with additional loot
Ah.
or less loot. It's going to be. We're heavily inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics, Baldur's Gate, all that stuff for nerds.
Mm. Yeah. So, Zenobia, I find this really interesting, like because I see that you're working on a few different NFT project games, and I always had the thought that like Chronic Dispositions, legend in our community, has written the lore for quite a few projects, and I found that concept interesting um, when you have somebody that is getting the big idea on a bunch of projects, and you can see how some of these stories kind of intertwine a little bit. Is there an aspect to in the games that you're developing right now where there may be some kind of intertwining between World of Yamaloka and Enri Fantom Lords and Academy of Magic?
Yeah, well, I think that working on different projects as well helps the Phantom chain and the community. Of course, my main attention right now is on the Phantom Lords, and my network has grown a lot since the beginning of the year. So some parts of the other games are managed with also other people. I don't want to say that the games are going to be connected to each other, but of course, all these projects are on the Phantom chains. So I think that each one of them can gain value from the others,
Oh,
because if you like.
trust me, Zeno. That they are going to be connected. It's basically my role in the project, to snoop around and outreach towards other teams. Yeah, actually, the lore, it's going to be written by our Lord of Stuttering and also our community. We used to do those. I don't know if you remember those giveaways where only the best story would win, and then we would give out the epic lore master role title on our Discord. So yeah, basically, what happens with the NFT project is that the integration always happens in the end, even if there is no real willingness, because the NFT's ownership is from the users, not of the project leads. I mean, I could integrate the humans, even if I wasn't, and I don't know how somebody can be in bad contact with the human herself, but even if human didn't want, I could integrate them in my game. And yeah, now that you've mentioned the lore, I think we should actually contact Chupinet, as a lore mistress of the universe. We could seek out her help. And yeah, trust me that the integrations are going to be as many as we can fit in, or of course time and resources pending.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was just having the thought of like it gets interesting when I think about like a Slothtopia metaverse and the idea that when we're all gonna be playing around in Slothtopia, like you could have gates where if we're in Slothtopia, all of a sudden now we're all playing Phantom Lords. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
that's
all right. Let's get back to the Ascension stuff. So right now, let's go through this. So right now, we're staking our Phantom Lords or any of your
yep.
pieces, and we're earning the XRLC token. And then I'm seeing we have artifacts coming.
If I may ask Zeno or to stream our shared folder, the Zeno stuff.
The Dropbox,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, I've prepared some very nice alpha. of what you're going to be minting with the proceeds from our staking platform. We're actually running a bit late, but to be honest, it's no real issue apart from Sunfire, who is in this, who is the biggest whale and would like to start minting right now. Sorry, Sunfire, because other people are going to require a few days at least to collect all the arcane relics. What you're going to be minting is going to be first the artifacts. Sorry, then it's in the build subfolder. I don't know if you found it. Yep, that's it. And yeah, those are going to be sacrificable NFTs. It's going to hurt because they're pretty good to look at.
Yeah.
They're basically going to be converted into our spendable internal resource. Every one of those that you own will grant you an Ascension. Also, if you burn a different kind of relic, it's going to net you into a different class of Ascension. For example, that scroll will get you a mage, while the shield will get you a paladin, and so on. And even when the Ascension ends, the minter will stay open, and we will keep using them, as internal resources. Maybe for a second Ascension, for a name change, which is possible to do even now, but I think people are going to prefer ascending than changing a name. And yeah, that is going to be our resource, our internal resource. I think it's pretty fun, the concept of burning, of sacrificing what you have, and it's going deep inside our project. I mean, when you pay for that, you burn all the XRLC token. For example, that bare hand will ascend into a druid class, and so on. We have 8 kinds of relics. By the way, Joa is the artist of these relics. You should absolutely go follow him. He's a bit of a degen, but he has unlimited talent as an artist, even more than Lord of Stuttering, our main artist.
As I run through this in my head, yeah, you're going to be... So we got Fantom Lords, we're going to be minting the artifacts with the XRLC token. And then we got to burn the Lord and artifacts. So if it's a 333, there can only be 1222 Ascended Lords.
Yeah, so actually a third, not 2/3.
Okay.
So 1,200 more or less.
So then, and do the Ascended Lords, they have a different, they have a boosted GameFi aspect?
Yes, that would not be unfair. I would like to keep at least 1/3 of the original Lords living,
Yep.
And in the game there is already the implementation of the different traits into different statistics, and if you own one of the rarest and with a good combination of attributes, original Lords, it's going to be very useful in the game. The Ascended Lords are going to be, a way to get rid of the weakest, you could say, and I also would suggest the ugliest of our original Lords. But they would not be, unfairly powered in the game. They would have a higher base level, maybe comparable to the rarest original Lords, but not really that different. The art is going to be much better. We're going to show you later some animated previews, and they're going to be... It's really something. I mean, even if the GameFi aspect wasn't in it, I'm really proud of how it came out.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan of your art, because I guess that was your original Lords were all animated, right?
Yeah. We started, like many artists did. We started. We trained ourselves while publishing our first few specters, we call them. They're still very much useful in our ecosystem. The fastest way to farm our tokens is by owning a Spectre.
Yeah. So actually, do you want to run through the emissions? What are the emissions for the Spectres, the Ghouls, and the Lords?
As per our white paper, it's 12.5% set to the Ghouls, 12.5% set to the Spectres, and the remaining 75% to the main body of the Fantom Lords. Due to the rarity and the liquidity, you could call it, of the different collections. For example, the Spectres are more recent, more active. You earn a lot more by owning a Spectre, because Spectre owners have been holding for 6 months. Some are lost, in the metaverse. Some are still waiting to remint from Zoo. Especially in the first day, we had like 5 Spectres farming, and they were earning an insane share of emissions. And now the situation has gradually come down, but I think you will earn 10 times as much as owning a Lord by owning a Spectre, and about 5 or 4 times as much by owning a Crypto Ghoul.
Well, I see Tinfoil. All he's doing over there is looking up Spectres to buy. That's all I know
He's doing
doing.
it live.
Well, I realize I have a Crypto Ghoul. I actually don't have a Spectre, so I do need one.
Yeah, the floor is like 700. I looked yesterday, so it's actually pretty interesting, because that's about 10 times the Fantom Lord floor right now. So it's an interesting play. But hey, we've got to. I guess we got to leave some alpha for next time, because we've got to move on to our topics. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for you all. I'm excited for the Fantom community. I'm excited for every holder and collector who's been waiting for this. And just well done, Wolfgang, Zenobia. Great job. Thank you for what you're bringing to the space. And Enri, thank you for your vision and for bringing something awesome to life for the Fantom NFT community. What you guys are doing is incredible.
Guys, it was a real pleasure. We were really emotional to be here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, because this is very important for us and for all the community, I think.
Awesome.
We leave you to your alpha.
Awesome. Well, Tinfoil, somebody in the audience said that when you went to stake, it doubled the amount of Fantom Lords. I don't know if that's true or not, but
no, I only got 8.
Okay. So
I'm a big whale.
Yeah, we definitely should have aped that harder. But man, I'm excited. That's incredible. So we're kind of crunched on time now, so we'll have to do these pretty quickly. But what do you want to point out that's minting? Do you have a list for me?
Yeah, there's a couple. So one of the ones I like, I really like the Baby Chimp Evo gang. So we wanted to do these kind of like mutations of your own creatures and stuff. They've figured out how to do it. So they got these awesome Baby Chimp mutations. So they're still minting right now. Slotopia, I think, is a big one. You're seeing Pop Scullies pop up on Twitter everywhere. I think that's a good one. And then some of our projects are still minting, like the Strange Pigs. So we're going to have our burning mechanisms for the Strange Gods coming. So Strange Pigs, there's still minting to do over there. When it comes to the psychedelic revolutionary apes, Splart, like that's a big one.
I think the most underrated one that's still minting is the Creature of the Cave 2 on AVAX. You have both the super serums and the regular serums, and we are about I don't want to give an exact date, because there's always, until you're ready. But by today, it looks like we'll be just working on the front end UI stuff to get it integrated with our website. But Triton has pretty much wrapped up everything for you to be able to burn 5 creatures to create your own custom one. It's pretty awesome. Like even going through the process, he's made it so there's like a watermark on the image until you actually mint it. So people can't just, basically steal the clout and steal the images. But yeah, you're going to be able to go through and burn 5 creatures either on Fantom or AVAX and create in a separate collection, a customized creatures collection, a one of one of your choosing. And so, yes, you can sweep the floor right now. I would be, and you can go on Fantom, sweep the floor, buy 5 just to have one. I'm going to be minting a bunch of these, like burning tons. So the supply is going to be super deflationary on Creature of the Cave 2. But on AVAX, just because of our presence not being as strong in AVAX, I think like people haven't even really discovered the project yet. So I'm excited. I'm going to be going on some AVAX spaces this week, talking about it, especially once it goes live. And I really expect it to start flying over there. But yeah, you mentioned Strange Gods. We actually have all the art done for Strange Gods, which you'll burn a potluck pig and a strange one, and then a strange pig. And the strange pigs are still minting, and there's some good scoops below mint price. Not a lot, but there's good scoops below mint price on NFT Key right now. So if I was you, Strange Gods is a collection of 500. You have 2 options to mint. You either burn one of the first 3 generations, like each of them. So you burn 3 to create it, or you can mint for 150 Fantom. So the goal was a strategic kind of game theory play. Yeah, somebody said the drinking game is whenever I say game theory on here. So the game theory play is until it's more expensive to buy 3, until that's more than 150 Fantom, people are just going to be deflating these supplies.
Yep.
And I would just, pick up floor ones, pick up ones that you don't like, that wouldn't hurt you to see them disappear from your wallet. I think it's going to be pretty hard to get your hands on potluck pigs to burn. But also on the strange pigs, it's a very smart play right now to scoop up below mint price just to hold, so that once these, the supplies start getting burned and people want to get their hands on them, those are some easy quick flip opportunities as well. But the Strange Gods are really a different level for us in that Slice That Up, our artist, made it so you'll have both an MP4 file and the PNG still image, so you can use it as a PFP, and you can also have a crazy awesome MP4. And what I would recommend, if you pay for Discord, you can go to a converter site, like Free Converter. You can convert your MP4 to a GIF, and then you could use that GIF as your PFP on Discord. So whenever you're talking or typing, it actually moves and interacts. So just saying, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to throw that out there. So yeah, super excited. But a couple other ones, and I actually was just talking with these. Broken Hearts has his mint out. It's only 3 Fantom. Incredibly cool art. Very Bit Damon's vibes for me. I really like it. 3 Fantom. We'll be giving away a couple at our auction tomorrow. But what's that called? The Heartbreakers, I believe. Yeah, Heartbreaker. So 3 Fantom mint. With times like these, it's great to have a cheap mint out there. It's super cool art. Also, Crown Labs just released their first project together, I believe. I believe it's the first one with Phantom Bunch and the Pixel Doodle Punks. I think it's the Ultimate Doodle Punks.
Yep.
And so that's out. There was another one. Oh, FTM Dead. Finally, it's open for the public mint. His Gen 2, the Gimpies, the 3D Gimpies, they're freaking awesome. They're incredible. And FTM Dead, such a staple in the community. So 16 Fantom for that, absolute steal. Anything else that I'm missing, audience? Let's see.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
last one that I want to mention after we had our Weaponized Countries game night, and Triton was in, and we had a bit of an alpha testing on the Bobble Heads GameFi. Bobble Heads still minting. You're gonna want Bobble Heads after playing the game. You're gonna want Bobble Heads.
So, are you able to stake them and earn their token yet, or do they not make that live yet?
Because that I'm not sure of.
Okay, because I bought like 25, or I minted 25, like back when they first started minting, so that as soon as you could earn their Bobble token, I'd be earning it, and then I've never staked. So if I've been making a huge mistake, please tell me.
I don't see staking yet.
Okay, cool. Well, really excited for what's gonna be minting here is on this Friday. We'll talk about this more, but we have the Cyber Fantomic mint by Black Cat Dead. Absolutely incredible. But then I'm super excited because Sarge is in the audience. We'll be hosting. We're not getting paid. It's not some like this isn't a potluck project, but like Sarge is the man. So if Sarge says, "Hey, can we do the mint party in your Discord?" You don't ask questions. You just say, yeah, we're going to do it. So the baby punk mint, I am so fired up about it. There's only 1,300 and quite a few are given away free to the holders of the original baby punk. So when you minted or when you bought a punk before you got a baby. So the holders of those and whoever's bought them off secondary, they have access to, I think, like 4 free ones. They get airdrop 1. I think they get a mint 3 for free if they want. So when you do the math, I think there's going to be about 700 to 800 baby punks actually available for mint. And you're talking about one of the most gone. Not gone in 60 seconds. It's going to be gone in 6 seconds. That's what's going to happen. And then you'll be able to stake those. We'll be introducing our NFT staking. A lot more alpha to come next Tuesday as we introduce that. But that'll be the first non-potluck project that'll be introduced with us. And the APRs are just all about how much Fantom somebody puts towards it. So if a project wants to put a little bit, then the APR is going to be smaller. If they want to put a lot, it's going to be bigger. And Fantom Punk's Sarge, he's being so generous. Like, I don't think he's going to make a dime from this mint, honestly. When I look at the math, I think almost every bit of it, if not everything, is going back in the staking pool. Because, I mean, you just don't have people like him, Toomhez, these people that are just like legendary members of the community doing something like this. It's incredible. So even if it's not for the art, if you're like, man, I'll mint these, I'll get the art, plus I'll get my money back by staking. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Like, our projects aren't going to be like that. Like, we have Fantom allocated towards the staking pools, but it's not going to like repay everything that you invested. Like, that's not typically realistic. But Sarge is like, you know what? Who cares? Let's just do it for the people. I'm fired up about that.
Legend.
Okay, let's move on. Underrated projects. We kind of hit those like with ours, so we don't have to mention the potluck ones because some of the ones still minting are really some of the most underrated. But what else out there for you?
Man, for me, it's still like I gotta mention Slothtopia again. It's about halfway minted. Like, I couldn't, underrated as hell. I still think anything to do with like Riot Ghouls, Funeral and the Scullies, like anything over there, underrated. Like, that is just a brand that is just building. Danetron stuff. There's so many different artists in our ecosystem that you can see this just brand being built. And honestly, I think Danetron's one of the new ones that like I'm really starting to go like, oh, there's gonna be something here. Just all the effort that he puts in, even the little graphics now, like it's those extra steps, the same stuff that Teens was doing.
Yeah, I agree. And you think of a lot of these artists are, we're kind of combining artist spotlight and underrated projects into one here because we bet on teams. And so some of these projects, I'm betting on the fact that the art's good, like Crown Labs. I'm betting on them for 2 reasons. 1, the art is good in their projects. And then 2, the dev side is good. And that's the same thing with L and Riot Ghouls that we've always talked about, that is that she is so multi-talented. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, I can draw one style of art, but then she does the animated ones. And then she does unique experiences. She does the airdrops. Like, she's out of the box in her thinking and then has the dev side to back it up. And so how would you not bet on that person? Like, of course you're going to bet on it. And so same thing you just mentioned with the baby chimps, that they did something unique. Like, it wasn't just, hey, you can mutate, but you can mutate your exact one and it will maintain those same characteristics, just mutate it. And so like that's another level. That's awesome. So
no, you're spot on. Shout out to multi-talented human beings. Maze. I have been watching a bunch of his YouTube videos. His YouTube channel is just so high quality. The content that he produces on that is incredible. I loved watching him do all his little magic tricks down at South by Southwest. And now the art that he's producing in all of these like community collections and stuff. Like that is a talented human being.
No, I'm convinced that that he's not a human. He's just like some type of cyborg that was sent back to like show us how it's really done in NFTs. Like I just saw on Twitter, I'm sure you saw it this morning, his baby punk, one of his baby punks where he like redid a baby punk.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's incredible, incredibly creative, talented. I feel that way about so many people, like gimmicks. The artist who he's got his Oni girl collection. Dude, he's not real. That art, like, it's too good. It's absolutely too good. And that's what I feel like. What you mentioned, Daintron, like him, and then looking at what Septa and Limit Break are doing with their Shadows collection, and just the incredible detail of the art. It's special, and it's going to stand. Both of those groups and their generatives are going to stand the test of time. And the same thing with Sick Individual and his,
Yeah.
and Necro, and Black
I
Cat
just
Dead.
seen, speaking of Necro, I just seen Necro did a collab piece on Solana. So talking about a guy that is kind of building a cross chain name. Yeah, that it's stuff like that I like to see.
So South, he mentions Bit Damons, Damon Punks, definitely underrated. I mean, the Bit Damons were really one of the first collections like I got behind way before Potluck Labs existed. And I just love what they were doing, love the art, love the concept. And to see their original collection, they put so much work and months of work into, not be commercially successful, like only selling 300 something in the mint. And for them to come back with the Damon Punks and do something that I was just so glad to see them be able to do something that the public just went crazy for. But then the original punks the original Damons have just gone up in value like crazy. And so I'm just so excited about them. Also, he mentioned Banner Buddies. And then I'll give him a shout out for his show. He's got a new like weekly show. I think it's like Going South. But he just had, who do you have? Scorpio and Repeater. Was that who was on the first episode? Incredible. So shout out to him. Great community member for like so many projects. So
Yeah, another artist, Repeater. Like that guy's insane.
yeah, no.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like Septa was a big artist that kind of came in
Yep.
with his quality, and like it was like, okay, wow, like here's something. I feel like there's a bunch of the guys now that are at like that level of art, and it's just like every time they release something, it's like, ooh, here's an opportunity.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think you have these artists who come in with a style and they show other artists what's possible in NFTs, and then the floodgates open. And so, yeah. Hey, let's skip GameFi for time's sake. We'll skip GameFi because we talked, the whole show we talked about games. You already mentioned Slotopia. I love what's coming metaverse play with the ancestral humans. If you have an ancestral human, you're going to get your metaverse ready avatar. And seeing the floor drop back on those, because everything's cyclical. I mean, the market is crap right now. So people need liquidity for various reasons. And so it has nothing to do with the project. It just has to do with the fact that people are trying to get their Fantom back. They're probably covering loans that they went in thinking the bottom's in and the bottom still wasn't in, but it's a great time to pick up an Uman if you don't have one. And so, yeah, labs projects. We already talked about what's coming with the Strange Gods. We talked about Creature of the Cave, what's coming there. We have staking, and the target date is May 2nd, with going along with the Fantom, the Baby Punks mint. We're hoping to unveil that at the same party. But then really one of the labs projects I just want to mention is the project of this cross-chain auction. We're looking for this to be an every 2 weeks thing. And this time, I think we have 26 or 27 artists. It's unreal. We have some of the best on Fantom, but most of our Fantom artists, they're already in other auctions on a weekly basis. And so we wanted to pick and feature like some awesome artists from us. But the goal is really to bring in these other chains to show them what's possible. And so we have incredible Tezos artists, incredible ones, who also, most of them have collections on ETH as well. So they're like Tezos and ETH, already cross-chain artists. And then we have, I believe, 9 AVAX artists this time. including Mr. Wonderland, who has a couple collections out right now that are just going crazy. And his one-on-ones, he sold two so far. One sold for 30 AVAX or over 30, and one sold for like 11 AVAX. So this guy is putting out some heat. And so, yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Because I mean, the first one was a great experience. We had 211 people on 2 weeks ago. 5% of the money went to Deliver Fund, so we're doing something good with it. The rest of our proceeds on our side goes to NFT staking, and we make nothing. We're just putting this event on to really, bring value to all these communities, and obviously we get brand awareness, and it does benefit us in the NFT staking. So I'm not saying we're like martyrs or something. It's amazing, but it's not like our mints where we do make money on it. And so, but it's just been so fun, man.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of cool moments, man. Like, I mean, I as a collector, like I got some awesome pieces, and I didn't have Tezos. I was able to bid Fantom, and like now I have awesome Tezos pieces. Like, so there's the convenience of that, which I think is massive for people. Then there's the aspect of like, I don't know, it's just like cool moments. So like Tap Kaboom comes in with his Doodleverse, and it's like, oh, this is really cool. Like this is almost like the AVAX Chas guy. And Chas guy's in the house and he's loving it. And now, sure enough, the next auction, we're going to have them collaborating together. And I think, that is big going forward in terms of building these cross-chain relationships. When now you have artists cross-chain working together. Yeah, the photography, Tunk, or Tunch, we weren't sure how photography NFTs would do.
Yeah.
He brought a piece in and it was incredible. Killed it.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see where this goes going forward. And then like we on Fantom, like we've been blessed. We know the auction experience. Tombheads has blessed us with that for 6 months. We now have 4 auction houses going on Fantom. To hear the reaction from the Tezos side of things and the AVAX side of things, that was really cool from the artists and the collectors.
Yeah. So there's this constant criticism that we get, and I think we get it uniquely on Fantom because we're really I think we're the only project who does what we do at scale, which is we're helping artists and we're creating projects that pretty much helping artists release projects on a weekly basis, but they're not. So a lot of people think we're, flooding the market, just putting out more art to the same people, that type of thing. And when you study the numbers, you realize that's not true, and that, each of our mints, we're adding more and more wallets. And also there's a diversity of styles. So it's different collectors collecting what they like, and then projects they can believe in and that resonate with them. But that's how I feel about these auctions is if you just have the same exact buyers every time, then number one, some people are like, well, I mean, that's the same type of thing. It's every week coming out with new pieces, lowering the value of the previous pieces. But that's a scarcity mindset. So I've heard the arguments, and it's a BS scarcity mindset. The reality is when you create things like this, like what Pinky Swear did with their auction house, what FAC did is they realized, man, Tombheads has an incredible auction house, but guess what? There's more artists who need opportunities, and one auction house couldn't handle all of it. So let's create unique platforms that cater to different audiences and provide livings for artists. And so what you realize is with these auctions, a lot of these artists, before they come in to an auction house or before they do a generative with us, they're part-time artists. They're not full-time. And they're just hoping they can make it in the NFT space. And I've heard countless artists, even Felipe from Sick Individual, talking about just being lost and almost giving up. Teens on Acid talked about when he was on Ethereum, on OpenSea, nobody cared. And what you do by creating a community and then giving artists this platform where they have access to your community, you're changing lives. We get countless people who message us, and just hearing the stories, not just us, but Tombheads has done it longer and better than anyone. But creating these environments where an artist can change their life and collectors can be introduced to great art that they can appreciate and buy, and that hopefully appreciates in value. And so I think that people just need to recognize that the cross-chain thing it's about bringing value to Fantom, but it's also about bringing value to AVAX and to Tezos and to all these artists who maybe they've been like, man, AVAX is great for generatives, but it doesn't have a one-on-one scene. So if we could get this going here, it'd be incredible. On Tezos, there's incredible competition. And most of these artists sell works that are as equal to what you'd see from a SEPTA, like that same quality, but they make no money because their audience, they just don't have the right audience. They're just putting out pieces into the universe, hoping someone buys them. And so I'm just so proud of what we're doing there. Sorry, I'm a little, plus you combine the fact that like we're able to start giving a percentage of everything to help end human trafficking. Like that's just a really cool thing. So I'm really fired up. And that each artist, I've heard so many artists, had two approach me this week saying, "Hey, can I be in your auction and auction off a one-on-one piece and give 100% to that fund that's saving kids?" I was like, "That's incredible. That's awesome. Like that's what it's all about." And Scorpio, he said, "Don't give him credit for this because he didn't want other artists to feel pressured or anything." But last auction, I mean, he gave all the proceeds. Like he messaged us privately, and he deserves public praise for that because he just was like, "Man, he said the kids need it more than I do." And that was just so beautiful. And so that's the type of people we have in our community. It's beautiful.
Yeah. No.
To wrap up, this Friday, Black Cat Dead was an artist who I started collecting on Tezos and on ETH because I just was blown away by his colors, by the bold colors, by the unique style. And I was blown away that this guy, he's in Indonesia. And he was putting out one piece a day in this collection called the Mute Collection. He started on Tezos, then he moved to ETH, and he would do one every day. And the idea was like that was that Mute's that character's birthday, and so he was putting these out. But on Ethereum, once again, who's buying? Who knows about them? And so I saw there was a decent amount were collected, but so many were just sitting there. And I told him, "Man, you come to Fantom. I'll do a couple things. One is I know I can get you into Tombhead's auction house because your talent is there." And Gab saw his work, recognized the talent, got him in. And so thank you, Tombheads. Thank you, Gab, for believing in him. Then I said, you need to bring your mukes daily and release those on NFT Key. Once again, neither of those things make me money. What they do is they change this artist's life because now every day, he releases them on Opera House. So at the time, I didn't know if that would be an option. But that's who he went with. And because of what Erebus has done and just providing an incredible platform, he's able to list there every day for like 70 Fantom, and they sell in seconds every day. This is a guy who's living in a country where it doesn't take much to have a good standard of living, but to be like a full-time artist, it's just incredible. But bottom line is, between Tombheads and Opera House and what platforms they provided, his life has changed. Now, applying that skill set to his first generative collection and allowing the masses to be able to get this, there's 888 at 30 Fantom. And so with the prices right now, that means for like $30 you can get a one-of-one, essentially a generative, but there's 16 billion combinations with all the assets he has. There'll be 10 mystery characters. So it'll be an NFT with a question mark, and there's different color backgrounds, but it's pretty obvious. It's just the base character with a question mark. You get that one and you'll be able to, you could sell it on secondary, but it will only be able to be cashed in once. So we have a guide of all the different assets and you'll be able to custom build your character. All right, custom build it from scratch, a one-of-one. So if you want to look at the collection, you'll see rarities and everything, and you just want to build the rarest thing, you can do that. But if all 10 haven't been cashed in, that means the next person could come and beat you. But you could either pick a top 10 rarity, essentially, guaranteed, or you could just customize exactly what you want, 100% your favorite one. So I'm excited for that because I really want one because he's so good. I'm like, I just want to design my own, but I also know my luck with minting, and I just know that it ain't happening for me. But I'll be minting a lot to try to get it. But you have any thoughts on that? I know I talked a lot there, but that's a couple things I'm passionate about. So
Yeah, no, I can't say it any better. Like this art style, I'm enthralled by. Like I really, really love it. The color palettes, it's not graffiti style, but it kind of has a bit of a graffiti vibe to it. Yeah, I'm just a really big fan of the art. Have not been able to pick up a Muke or anything like that. And again, like this is just an awesome opportunity to build his name, build his community. Yeah, I'm super excited.
Fired up, man. Yeah, a little alpha. No, I can't share it. It's too much alpha. We can't end with alpha, can we? Oh wait, maybe that's the whole point of the show, right? So I'm working with this artist from Tezos to build an interactive NFT game that will be a Labs mint. So you'll be able to mint it with Labs tokens. There's no profit made for us in it. We're coming out of pocket paying this artist to make it, but it's going to be like Galaga. If you remember that game, is that the name of it? Yeah, where you shoot the things. I think that's right. If for some reason, yeah, Galaga.
Space Invaders.
Yeah. So the things are coming down. You move.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
shoot them. Except the things that are coming down are going to be like all your favorite Potluck characters. So it'll be like shooting acid cats and Astro Kids and creatures and everything. So just be a fun game. And then we might run contests for like high scores and stuff. Just give away more prizes. And so super excited with that. And so don't have like a timeline on it, but it's going to be, when that does come out, it's going to be pretty incredible. So excited to do that. Excited that you can use your labs to buy whitelist spots now. You have till tomorrow to buy whitelist spots if you'd like to be in the pre-sale. So platinum passes or 500 labs tokens can get you whitelisted. And so we'll see you guys at the mint tomorrow. If we have more than 211 people on, I'm giving away a Fang Pass. And somebody, while we were on this, just created an Ultimate Pass. So we are down to, there are currently 10 Fang Passes in existence. And there's only the possibility. I think I can create 2 more because we're capped at 60. We have 48 ultimate passes, so that means there's only 12 possible ultimate passes left out there. They guarantee a free mint for life. So the value of that Fang Pass is pretty high. So get all your friends on the auction, come witness history, and get yourself a shot at a Fang Pass. So worst case,
and just a quick little heads up. I just noticed there's only 70 alien chunky cats left by King Ephraim. That mint is almost done. Only 70 out of the 3,000 left.
And the price is what? 5?
Three Fantom.
3? Okay, let's post on Twitter. Let's make that happen. He deserves it. Yeah. All right. Well, sorry we ran over, but a lot of alpha. So for Tinfoil, myself, Plot Twist in the back, and Fantom Lords earlier. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share it on Twitter, get the word out. So if there's projects we talked about that you love, tag them on Twitter. Let them know that we talked about them. Let's get their communities involved, publicly supporting them. So anyways, we love y'all. We'll see you next week.